Hey guys, welcome back to the SubPar Grappling Podcast. I'm your host, Alan, the SubPar Grappler. And sorry I've been gone for so long. I had a lot going on last month. I'll make another video about that another time. But today I bring you guys a great interview I had with my friend RJ. He is a para athlete, a para jiu-jitsu athlete, and does extremely well in competitions. He goes out and competes with able-bodied people and actually wins matches. And he's a great inspiration to me and to other para athletes. Maybe not just in jiu-jitsu world. So I got to talk to him over Zoom, but unfortunately, my internet isn't great, so I had to make this an audio only episode. But he still has a lot of great things to say, so I hope you'll just tune in and give us a listen to. With that being said, let's check the interview. Welcome to the show. This is the SubPar Grappling podcast where I just talk with people with disabilities and kind of how they deal with their disability and what they're doing to overcome it. And you're doing a lot, man. You're out there competing in jiu-jitsu, being a reporter and the Special Olympics and traveling all over the place, man. So, I just want to hear sort of your story first. Go ahead and tell us about yourself a little bit.
Yeah, so I obviously I have cerebral palsy, right side hemiplegia, and that's caused some obstacles growing up, as I think you can attest to with similar experiences. But I never let that stop me from doing whatever I wanted. I've been involved with sports my entire life, and now I get to write about sports for a living, and I get to do jujitsu, and the sport of martial arts or martial arts in general has become my passport. I mean, I've gone to so many different countries now for jujitsu. It's pretty incredible, but I just try to use my experience with disability to promote and educate people on disability and how that looks in combat sports.
That's cool, man. So, how did you, get your start in jiu-jitsu? Like, how did you find it? Because growing up, I didn't find jiu-jitsu until I was like 23. So I was never involved with any kind of sports. I tried to play soccer, but I was terrible at it. And so how did you find yeah, how did you find your way into a gym where we, fight each other every day?
Yeah, so I wanted to be a MMA fighter. Like that was my dream growing up. I grew up watching guys like Uriah Faber, Matt Brown, Anthony Pettis, Jose Aldo, all those old school guys that most of them aren't even fighting anymore. And so I wanted to fight in the cage, and obviously my cerebral palsy,
Oh, nice.
boxing commission wouldn't let me fight. But that didn't mean I couldn't compete in jujitsu at the highest level. So that's kind of how I got into jujitsu, was through MMA, and you know realizing I couldn't compete in one at the high level, but I could in the other. So my focus kind of shifted to full-time jujitsu.
Man, you wanted to do MMA? That's wild. That's awesome, dude.
I did. I still want to. I want to experience it once, man. Like getting locked in a cage with another dude. I just want to experience it once.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure, they can make it happen at like one of these like local events or something like that where, they could. I mean, I don't know what the rules are, what the laws are, and all that stuff. Because you said the boxing commission didn't let you do it. Like, were they like, no, too dangerous?
Yeah, yeah, they would just like liability
Uh,
purposes, which I understand, but on the other hand, like it's my decision to sign the waiver and my decision to step foot in there. So I feel like if I'm willing to sign the waiver and my opponent agrees to fight me, I should be able to fight. But that was also like 10, 15 years
okay.
ago. So change. So maybe I could fight in some state that isn't as strict, or maybe on an Indian reservation.
Yeah, that's that's funny. No, oh no, yeah, you're right. I mean, it's the same thing for like a jujitsu competition. It's not like you can't get hurt competing in jujitsu, but like we still signed the waiver.
Exactly.
What made you so? You said you wanted to start doing MMA. So like, were your parents like when did you start wanting to do MMA? Like as a kid, and were your parents like, no, that's too dangerous, and you were just like, no, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah, so my parents growing up, they always pushed me to do whatever I wanted. And when it came to sports, they didn't like hold me back, or they didn't tell me I wasn't allowed to do a specific sport because of how dangerous it was, or I'd be so far behind in the physical limitation area. If I wanted to do something, they supported me. And same thing with martial arts. They were like, it's going to be extremely hard because of my physical limitations. They're like, it just is what it is. But also, like, I learned so much through martial arts. Like, the way I move now, I shouldn't be able to move because of the type of CP I have. I mean, I go upside down and I invert, and everyone's always like, dude, how are you doing that with the type of CP you have? And I was like, because I train twice a day, every day. Like it's physical therapy for me. Now, if I don't train days, I don't know about you, but if I don't train for a few days in a row, my right side like tenses up really tight.
For me, it's my left side, and so my left side is kind of just always tense, and so I have to like completely exhaust my hand to it so I can
Yeah.
relax. Um, but yeah, after a couple of days of not training, I kind of lose the moment, the how to like grip the gi, like how to do the gi grip, and like how to hip escape, like that stuff kind of goes away for me if I don't do it. If I'm out for like a week because I'm sick or whatever, and I go back, it's weird.
Takes us a little bit longer to get back into it after taking a break.
Yeah. Yeah, so talking about your game specifically. I've seen you on Instagram. You're doing these bolos and you're doing these inversions. So how did you develop that? Like how did you figure out like, oh yeah, this is my thing now?
So my coach, who is a very highly competitive black belt, all he does is barambolos to take the back, and so I train with him. I train with him twice a day, every day. So obviously that's like a big part of my game now. But also I just think it looks cool. And so when I first like approached my training partners and coaches, like, hey, I'm gonna have the same style as some of these other guys. And they're like, dude, I don't know if your CP is gonna allow you to move that way. I was like, well, we're gonna make it happen because I want my jujitsu to look cool. And I mean, ever since then, I mean, it's all I do. If I do a round and I don't invert, somebody they ask me what's wrong. They're like, "Man, are you like out of it today? Like you're not inverting." But I'm also a guard. In general, like I just prefer to play guard. Playing top is kind of hard for me with my CP just because of off balancing me. It's easy to sweep stuff, so I prefer just to play guard.
Yeah, no, I guess yeah, I do like passing sometimes, like when I can get heavy on somebody and like, really squash him and just like I'm a pressure pass guy. Like I'm not very athletic and I'm not gonna, jump around side to side, do that whole thing. What is your mentality when you go compete? Like, because when we go compete, we're kind of already at a disadvantage. And so, I don't win a lot and I don't compete a whole lot anymore just because, my schedule's insane. But like, how do you think about, yourself and how do you prep yourself going into any kind of competition?
Yeah, so I put myself just like any other athlete would. I obviously in the back of my head, I know I have a huge disadvantage. It's not a secret, and I compete so much that most of the guys in my division also know my weakness. But luckily, I've competed so long that I have enough points to where I'm usually one of the top seeds in the bracket. So I'm able to watch the matches before me, and I'm able to like do a quick game plan film session like right before the match so I know what I can and can't do. And that's helped me so much, especially at purple belt. Every tournament since last November, except for one, I've won matches at against able-bodied opponents, like IBJJF tournaments. So obviously, like the way I go into prep is working, and you know what they say, like don't fix what's not broke. So I just, I go in there to have fun, but I'm also super competitive. So I go in there and just try to showcase my jujitsu, win or lose. I just want to showcase like what adaptive athletes are capable of if given the opportunity.
Yeah. That's awesome, dude. So you've won them at least one match in like a lot of like top tier IBJJF competitions. That's awesome, dude. That's quite the accomplishment. Because like those are tough.
Yeah, yeah. IBJJF is tough. It's all the top competitors. And at blue belt, I didn't win that often. And then purple belt, I haven't checked the rankings in a few weeks since the last time I competed, but I was like number 66 in the world, and it just felt good because like I didn't get that ranking just by showing up and losing in the first round. Like I had to win matches to get that ranking and to earn those points. So it's super cool to look at it now, especially at purple belt, just because, everyone always says purple belt's probably the hardest belt to compete at. So just to know that I'm winning, it feels really good.
Yeah. No, that's cool, man. Congratulations on that. That's awesome. That's so cool. And so, I guess I haven't had the chance to win all that much. And so, um I guess speaking, hopefully somebody's listening here with like a disability who wants to jump into jujitsu and try it, what advice should you give to them? Like if they're scared or discouraged that they're not doing well or they went to compete and kind of got demolished in like 30 seconds. That's happened to me before. And so, like what advice would you give to somebody who's kind of, on the fence?
I would tell them to just do it. I lost 27 straight tournaments before I won. 27 straight tournaments I lost matches at before I won. So just do it and stick with it and take it step by step. When I first started, it was lucky if I would last a minute. Like I got submitted so fast every single time. And then I started losing on points. And then I started winning on points. And then I started winning by submission. So just do it and stick to the process. Trust the process because regardless of how long it takes you to win,
Yeah.
your time is going to
I like
come.
that. I like the progression of like losing by submission, then not getting submitted and losing by points, and then winning by points, and then eventually getting the sub. That's a great like progression to look at.
It's the best way to track your progress, I think, because it shows that you're getting better.
Yeah, for sure. I think people won't like to, don't like to talk about like, oh well, I used to lose by submission and now I lose by points, but like that's actually like a big deal. It would be a big deal to me to like, go and compete, like go the distance and lose by like an advantage or whatever. Like that would be a good day for me. You know what I mean? Like you had to look at it from like a different perspective.
Absolutely. I competed in Dublin back in 2023, and I was going up against one of the top ranked um blue belts at the time. I think he was ranked number like 4 or 5 in the world for our division. And he beat me by an advantage. And he he had no idea I had CP. He had no idea I had CP. But it was like that moment that like clicked in my head. I'm like, I can do this and I can compete with the best dudes in the world. I might not always win, especially if we get into scrambles. Most of the time, I'm not going to win a scramble. Um, but I can hang with these. That's the biggest accomplishment for me is if I'm hanging with these dudes and showcasing good jujitsu and inspiring the next generation of adaptive athletes to get into the sport. Like that's my reason for why I do what I do.
Oh yeah, no, dude, that's awesome. Yeah, dude, because like now that I've started looking into like all the adaptive tournaments and all that stuff, there's so many opportunities now for like a new generation of like adaptive athletes to like go compete and like get some recognition and get some sponsorships and do all the things. Like there's so much more out there now, and it's so cool that we can kind of be a part of it and kind of build it up and lead it for the next generation.
Yeah, it's so cool to see how much it's grown, even in the last like couple years. It's so cool that they have these tournaments. I want to find a way to make more of these tournaments accessible in the United States, though. I mean, not everyone is going to be able to travel to London or Spain or Ireland or Abu Dhabi to compete. So, finding ways to like have more tournaments in the United States is a big goal of mine.
Oh yeah, for sure. Cause like I tried to find it, I'm like, man, there is nothing in the U.S. right now. And like every time I would find like I found the one in Spain. I think the one that you sent me, or the Kimura Cup one that's in Spain. And I found it like a month before it was done. I'm like, well, I can't just drop everything and just fly out to Spain real fast. Like I can't do that. I used to be able to do that. I can't do that anymore. But that like it'd be cool to have more tournaments here. No, even going. I went to Alabama last month for the fundraiser, and that was a great time. So like I think doing more, I guess, local events would be super cool to have those and eventually try to build it up. Man, that'd be so cool.
I'm excited for next year. I don't know if you've seen the schedule, but AJP has a Grand Slam in Dallas. So they're going to have an adapted division in Dallas next year.
I think I saw that. Is that like in November, like at the end of the year next year?
Yeah, yeah, I think it's in November or December.
Oh, dude, yeah, that's exciting. Yeah, I'll be at that one. And really next year I'm gonna try and go to more of these para tournaments. I don't know if I'll hit up Abu Dhabi, but I might try to go to Spain or London. I've just like I've never been on that side of the pond, so I'm trying not to go, but
Yeah.
I'm trying not to go by myself. I want to take someone with me, and that's kind of a big ask to be like, hey, you want to spend
Yeah.
couple $1,000 and fly out there for a week and a half?
Yeah, it can get expensive. That's why I do so many seminars and like guest teaching is all the money I raise for my seminars goes to being able to bring a coach with me. So I pay for the
Okay.
coach. Um, just because I mean I traveled to Spain by myself, and that was cool. But like you, I'd rather have somebody with me, and it's a big ask to be like, hey, you want to drop 3 grand to go to Spain with me? So I always like try and do seminars to raise money to help them out.
Yeah, so how did you, start doing that instead of doing 7 hours? Like that's something super interesting. I've never seen a pair athlete doing 7 hours. So that's how you doing them all over the place.
Yeah, I'm doing them all over the place. I started emailing gyms. Honestly, I just started reaching out to gyms and reaching out to black belts I follow on Instagram, and I tell them, "Hey, I'm a purple belt. I have cerebral palsy. Not only do I compete at the IBJJF level, but I win at the IBJJF level. I would love to showcase some para jiu-jitsu and educate people on best practices to support people with disabilities in combat sports." And so far, I mean, I've had great success with it. I got to teach a seminar at the De La Hiva Academy in Abu Dhabi. Like that was, I did not expect them to say, and they said yes. Um, and so I just keep doing it.
Dude, that's awesome. Because I've been thinking about trying to figure out ways to raise money and trying to get, some sponsorships to go out there and save some money. You know, I guess my only like insecurity would be like, I guess I don't win a whole lot. Like, you have your selling point. It's like, hey, I win a lot using these techniques. And I guess, I don't necessarily have that at the moment. I'm just kind of the enthusiast. So that's where I hesitate about. Like, even in my own gym, I'm like, hey, like, when my coach is like, hey, we might have you teach one day. I'm like, sure. Yeah, I'll teach. Okay, yeah, sure.
I would do that if I were you. You know, that's how I started. Even before I started reaching out to gyms, I talked to my coaches and was like, hey, like once a month, could I teach a class to learn how to teach
Hmm.
and learn how to teach my modified moves? Because my coach is telling me at the end of the day, athletes that don't have cerebral palsy, they don't need your modifications. Like they can do the technique the way it's supposed to be done. They don't need the modifications. So finding the angle and the reason why they should know these modifications is a big part. So I just taught in house.
Okay, yeah, cool. No, yeah, because, sometimes I do give advice to like the older belts about stuff that they're doing wrong, and like I understand the technique the way I understand it, but like when like the other day I was teaching some kids how to do a single leg takedown, and I just told the kid like, hey, bring your head to the inside, and the kid just kind of just looked at me. I was like, oh wait, you don't know what that means. Okay, hold on, hold on, let me help you real quick. So just knowing like that stuff, like you have to really boil it down for people, and just kind of learning that helps a lot. So that's cool, man, that you're going all over the place. I'm gonna go to your seminar. Is that this weekend?
So I'm super excited for that one. One of my old teammates lives down there now. So he helped set it up. So I'm super excited for that. I just sometimes I can't believe I get to do jujitsu at the level I'm doing it. And competing is cool, but like actually doing seminar, like seeing the social media graphics online is just like so wild to me. Like to see where I started and where I'm at. And I'm only a purple belt. Like I'm not even a black belt yet. Like it's cool. It's cool to see the progression.
Can you share more a little bit about your cerebral palsy? So you said it's your right side. Is it just more tense? Can you still use it, or what's going on there?
It's Yeah, it's my entire right side of my body, and my right arm is more affected than my leg, but both limbs are affected. Um, in terms of using it, I mean, I can use it just fine as like a support arm. I can't really do anything with it by itself, like pick things up and stuff, but I can use my arm
Okay.
as like a support. And then when I drive, I don't drive with it. I have a left foot pedal and a steering knob with all the buttons on it. So I drive a modified
Oh, okay,
car.
cool. Okay. Okay. Oh, that's cool. Okay. So you said, okay, so everything you do is left-handed essentially.
Yeah, yeah, I can drive without the modifications. I can.
Mm.
But when they were evaluating me, I got a perfect score using the modifications. So they gave me the adaptions.
Okay, gotcha. Gotcha. Cool, cool. And did you have the like at birth, like all the other cases of CP?
Yeah, yeah, my mom hemorrhaged during my birth and I had a stroke.
Oh,
So my CP is the result of it.
okay. Gotcha. 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 All right. Well, unfortunately, I only have 10 minutes left because I'm using the free version of Zoom. So, is there anything that you would want to say to anybody with a disability who's on the fence of maybe not jujitsu, but they're on the fence of wanting to try something, and they're like, I can't do it. I might not be able to do it. Yeah. So, what would you say to anybody listening?
Anyone listening that has any type of disability, not just cerebral palsy, I would say you can do anything you set your mind to. The journey to reach that goal might look a little different and it might feel a little different than somebody else, but that's the beauty of our individual journeys is it's your way. There's no right or wrong way to do things as long as it works for you and fits your vision. So I wouldn't let your disability hold you back from doing anything. If I would have listened to every single doctor, every single teacher, every single person in the community that told me I couldn't do anything, I wouldn't have a college degree. I wouldn't have a full time job. I wouldn't drive or do jujitsu. So, you know, believe in yourself and do whatever you want to do.
All right, man. Yeah, man. That's my advice. Yeah, don't let them hold you back, man. And success looks different for everybody. That's kind of what I've had to figure out for myself.
Exactly.
All right, guys. If you made it to the end, that was my friend RJ. I really appreciate you, RJ, coming on the podcast, inspiring all of us to push for more, push to do better. And even if we come up short, we're still doing a lot in our sport. And I appreciate him, just sharing all his struggles and sharing all his successes here on the show. So again, if you like this kind of content, please subscribe and ring the bell so you get notified of other videos that I make. And on that note, I will see you later on the mats.